We are here with Mr. Jayant Ghate. He is the advisor to the World Trade Center. He's very long experience working with the World Trade Center Mumbai, with the World Trade Center Association, and with a lot of international government organizations. So, sir, it's a pleasure to have you. And, sir, if I may just ask you this, what is this World Trade Center Navi Mumbai and the activities of the World Trade Center Navi Mumbai?
Good morning and welcome to the World Trade Center Navi Mumbai. I am very happy to welcome you to this prestigious organization, World Trade Center Navi Mumbai, which has been promoted by Raheja Universal Group in India. Bringing the world together, that is the mission with which World Trade Center Navi Mumbai is being set up right now. All over the world, there are World Trade Centers like this. There is a World Trade Center Association based in New York, which has nearly 100 countries presentation, and there are nearly 330 World Trade Centers operating in about these 100 countries. Prosperity through trade and investment. This is the mission of the World Trade Center Association. And from that point of view, to achieve that mission, WTC and WTCs all over the world carry out a number of services and activities. There are two parts of any World Trade Center. One idea is to create facilities to bring under one roof all the stakeholders connected with international trade. So that includes, say, for example, exporters, importers, banks, shipping and logistics companies, government agencies like customs, for example. All these are brought under one roof. And there are facilities, for example, like exhibition facilities, convention facilities, hotel facilities. At the same time, World Trade Center's role doesn't end there actually. So besides these kind of infrastructure facilities, there are trade services, and these services are in nature of, say, trade information, trade education, trade missions, trade research, international diplomacy, and all that kind of services. All these services and facilities are basically what you call prerequisite to conduct international trade or investment activities. So from that point of view, World Trade Centers is one of the largest network in the world which connects all these 100 countries and provides a very wide range of services plus facilities where international business people can take it as a sort of their platform from where they can conduct international trade and investment business and promote it at the same time. So WTC Navi Mumbai is a part of this network as such, and we have been conducting a lot of trade services activities in terms of trade information or trade research or trade education as well as trade promotion. So these services are utilized extensively by the industry in this region, business in the region, as well as government agencies as well as academia. And our role or our mission is to promote their activities, at the global level. And at the same time, we are now constructing facilities to promote to bring them at one place. This is where you can see the World Trade Center is going to come.
So now when we speak about the World Trade Center, usually the World Trade Center that's known to people has been the World Trade Center New York. Now that begins, it has a historical past, and at the same time there was also a sad past as well, which was the World Trade Center in 2000.
Okay.
And then the World Trade Center Association has also been there. Now how close is the activities of the Navi Mumbai World Trade Center along with the Indian World Trade Centers and with the WTC in New York?
So let me explain to you a little bit background or historical background of WTCs. You see, original concept of World Trade Center started with the port authorities, you can say. They found out that with a view to promote trade, it will be desirable to bring all together in one place. Because at that point of time, as such, ports were the main focus of international trade processes. So from that point of view, they thought of bringing to under one roof all the agencies connected with international trade. So New York, for example, you were saying, New Jersey was the port place actually. Originally, it was also known as a World Exhibition Ground. This was long time back. Then Tokyo, that was another place which was as a part of what you call international trade. Japan was another leader, as you know. Then similarly Singapore Port Authority. So all these ports started initially, and at 68 they came together to establish World Trade Center Association, which is now based in New York. is a non-profit, non-political promotional organization, global organization. So once that was set up, India became part of that in the 1971 when World Trade Center Mumbai was initially set up as it, and it became it became the member of World Trade Center Association. So that time only hardly there were 10, 15 World Trade Centers all over the world. But slowly the concept picked up actually, and afterward the World Trade Center movement started all over the world. So besides port authorities, also many other agencies, government agencies or business organizations, trade promotion organizations, for example, like chambers of commerce or industries association, or even private sector, that is construction business people, they join water centers. And if you see, today almost 330 water centers are operating in about 100 countries. So it is one of the largest brand. It has emerged from say 10 people, 10 members to 330 members today. And I would say that today, if you look from international trade and investment point of view, it is the sort of ecosystem, or you can say powerhouse to promote international trade and investment. So if you see international trade today is almost 25 trillion plus US dollar. Out of that, one third takes place through WTC's network, either through their members, through their tenants, or through the vendors who provide the facilities or services at water centers, as well as people who visit their exhibition centers or convention facilities they use. Right? So it's a sort of, you can say, really speaking, it brings the stakeholders and very nicely and provides infrastructure facilities, at the same time knowledge services that promote international trade and investment.
Now, how strong is India's attractive destination for trade?
Okay. So now coming to India, India's international trade and investment, and particularly foreign direct investment, you will find that India has emerged of late one of the best, I would say, destination for foreign direct investment to come. In 2014, the foreign investment of FDI, what they call investment in India, was 45 billions of US dollars. Now today that has gone up to almost 85 billions of dollars. Similarly, in equity also investment, today it is almost $45 billion, which is quite a substantial investment as such. If you look at India's international competitiveness, you will find that India's rank in terms of say global competitiveness, or say global innovation, or say also ease of doing. So all these indices have come below, I mean all these ranks have come below 50. Now about 10 years back, this was almost, you can say it was more than 150 or something. So you can certainly say that India is attracting foreign investment substantially, foreign trade as well as foreign investment. Now if you see India's GDP growth, today it is one of the largest one in the world also. It is almost 8.2%. Secondly, India's population. I think India has become number one in terms of population, but most of the population is youth. So if you see, the market in India is expanding and growing at a very good growth rate as such. And that is what is attracting foreign investment, if I am not mistaken. In terms of what you call equity also is one of the investment avenue. In that also you will find that India's stock exchange indexes, particularly Bombay Stock Exchange Index, has reached almost 80,000, which is very really giving really good returns over investment, and many foreign companies are taking this as a sort of avenue or way to grow in India. So besides foreign direct investment, equity investment, that is in stock exchange, India is attracting both ways, and it is one of the what you call water centers also play equally important role in that field also as such. And if you will find, water centers offer a lot of activities or services in terms of developing B2B activities, B2C activities from a business point of view, and they help in promotion of this trade and investment really great way. In a lot of formalities are there which water centers conduct, associate, and I've been utilizing these kind of services and facilities regularly, for promotion of trade and investment.
Many investors who want to invest in India, they do not know the right agencies to reach out to. And thereby, the trust issues are also one of the issues. The second thing is they do not understand what are the policies and the guidelines and the regulations which are there for trade and investments. I had one of the I have seen many of the German investors into electric motorcycles, electric vehicles, and other companies who are interested to look into India as an investment destination. Now, how do you would like to convey this message to the investors about the World Trade Centers and the sisters chambers of commerce?
Okay. That's a really good question, I would say. In fact, as far as India is concerned, you will now find that there is an excellent agency which has been operating in the country, which is set up by Government of India. It is known as Invest India. You will find that many countries have their own investment agencies. So India, for last, I think it is in operation for last 1 decade or more actually. But most of the countries, particularly developed countries, they have this kind of organization set up for a very long time. Now, in terms of India, India invests, does a lot of promotional work for bringing investment in the country. There are offices all over the world also. So you will find that that is the most right agency, because that will provide you everything whatever you want to know, whether in terms of trade information, whether in terms of policy makings or policies, procedure aspects, or at the same time of what are the opportunities available here and who are the people who can get connected with them. Because every time most of the business people who want to come to India and do business or invest, particularly I would say, they want to know what are the opportunities, what are the regulations, and how they can go about it. That normally they prefer to know. So Invest India is an organization. It is based in Delhi actually. But that organization, being a government organization, they have access to everywhere in the country as such, and they have several services and activities to promote foreign investment in India. So I would recommend that Invest India organization as a sort of a stepping stone for you to come to India and invest here. Secondly, World Trade Centers. There are nearly 35 World Trade Centers are coming up in India, and out of that already 6-7 are fully operational. WTC Navi Mumbai is also operational in terms of services, but most of the World Trade Centers have become operational, and they provide lot of opportunities for you to come and see what India is, what kind of services and facilities are available, and what kind of opportunities are here. Most of the World Trade Centers are having membership. They are having either associates. They are also closely associated, or they work with chambers of commerce or industry association in the country. And you will find that most of the trade and investment is happening through WTCs as well as such. So my suggestion, for example, now you are saying about legal aspects. So now perhaps you may be knowing, I don't know whether everyone is aware as such, but even India now is going to allow overseas legal practitioners to come here and start doing legal practice. So all that legal aspects, overseas people or overseas investors can always take care of.
Their corporate lawyers can also
come and establish their practice here. So it's not a now new thing else. So we very much welcome, and World Trade Centers will definitely help you. But Invest India agency, investment in general. So that agency also will help you a lot. So from that point of view, I would say it has become easier to operate in India.
And I also see that many state governments also offer the support along with the central government.
Now, when you see state level, I will come to later, but in terms of say advantages, what are the tax advantages? Then Government of India, there are 3-4 advantages which Government of India or Commerce Ministry or Finance Ministry offer. One is tax holiday. There is a tax holiday for when you are establishing your operations here. I think especially for startups, for the first 10 years they don't are expected to 10 years they will to set up their operations. Within 10 years 3 to 4 years tax holiday is there. Any whatever period they want, they can get. Secondly, the other tax advantage you will see is the investment tax allowances. That allowance is also there. Further, there is a depreciation allowance that Government of India offers. So all these allowances are compatible, or you see anywhere else actually. If you see countries like China or even Singapore or South Korea or Vietnam, you'll find that these are sort of comparable to these countries. Further, coming to what you call state level, this as you mentioned, most of the states are offering a very good red carpet treatment for foreign investment to come. FDI has it. In term, especially in the areas of manufacturing, say industries. For example, let me explain to you. Engineering is one of the largest industry, and India needs technologies in this actually. Energy, that is another, particularly green energy, that is another area in which India is keen to develop this. Chemicals and pharma, as all of us know, in the Corona period, Indian pharma industry developed quite a substantial, and because its vaccines are taken all over the world as such. Agro and food industry, they are food processing or something. So they are also having a good potential for growth, especially in terms of export also. In terms of construction, real estate, another area where you can see. Textiles, of course, is India's one of the largest significant industry, and in terms of population also there is quite a good demand in that. So that is also equally good opportunity for foreigners to invest. But apart from this, in terms of services, I would say IT is one of the largest service which India exports, and India has a good talent in this in terms of engineering as well as IT. So that is one of the IT service sector has emerged as one of the strong attraction for foreign investment. Similarly, education is another area or service in which India is attracting quite a good deal of foreign investment and interest also. Yet another service which is attracting foreign investment, I would say, is tourism as well as hospitality. Because perhaps you know that recently this in Ayodhya there was a Ram Mandir was set up, and government is keen that it will emerge as a sort of a religious destination for all Hindus all over the world to come. So Ayodhya is being developed just like, for example, in Rome there is a Vatican City where for Catholic people, or Makkah is for Muslim. Similarly, Ayodhya they want to treat it as a sort of a destination where religious tourism will take place. Other industry or sector, I would say, is healthcare, which is one of the really good service, and India is keeping in view the Indian population as well as increase in age of the people, the individuals. India, I am sure, will develop good facilities as services to develop healthcare, and in which foreigners would be more and more interested. As perhaps you know, India has a good talent in terms of medical education, and many people are coming here, particularly from Middle East, just to take advantage of medical facilities which are available here and talent which is here as such. So this is what I thought I will share with you. So let us continue our discussion, and as you know, World Trade Center now you can see which is coming up in this.
The World Trade Center, which is also the model which has been coming up.
So I was explaining to you what kind of industries or services are attracting foreign investment. So WTC's help in developing with different kinds of opportunities in different sectors. So right now I have one opportunity available for foreign investors. There is a really good successful unit which is having a turnover of rupees almost you can say 200 CR plus. In terms of this you'll have to see calculated as well. But it's quite a huge unit actually, and in the area of industrial fasteners. So that unit is available for sale, and they will welcome if there is a foreign direct in, but that is available for sale.
It's into industrial fastener.
It is industrial fasteners, metals.
So which means like the role of the World Trade Center is not just into attracting investments, It's also into facilitating for trade investments in terms of mergers, acquisitions.
That's correct. And that's okay. That's precisely. Yes. I mean, World Trade Centers offer value-added services.
So this is a part of the value-added service, wherein if there is a company which is already an Indian company which is also offering its services in or its business to be as joint ventured or like acquired over, you also support it for the trade to happen inside. So how about the fact that now electric vehicles and the chip industry is one of the big industries that Europe or the US or China looks at? And now India is still behind in terms of the technology which is needed for the electric vehicle technology when it comes to the chip manufacturing technology. Now, seeing this, how do you see that India can move ahead to attract the electric vehicle companies and the chip companies?
This is a really good question, actually. In fact, as perhaps you are aware, about 3 decades back, India tried to bring chip manufacturing or semiconductors, what they call semiconductor chip, in India as such. But somehow, I mean, Andhra Pradesh or Hyderabad was the state which was keen to establish this. But that didn't happen. We don't know why it didn't happen. If it had happened at that time, we could have gone substantially ahead of, say, countries like China or Taiwan or South Korea, where these kind of things are available now. But anyway, in case of energy also, we should have realized that we should not depend only on petrol products, because that is, I mean, now as far as a lot of our foreign exchange is taken up by this petrol. So electrical energy or electrical vehicle, which is, but of course, you know very well that auto industry in India is one of the largest, it's increasing like anything else. And as well as infrastructure in terms of roads or whatever is also developing. So the industry has a really good future. And electrical vehicles are already now, many companies have gone into electrical vehicle production. One of the world's largest industry, that is Tesla, is also planning to come to India. As you are perhaps aware, Government of India is also keen to establish electrical vehicle as industry as a focus sector. They have treated it as a focus sector, and they are giving a lot of benefits. If you know, perhaps the only thing difficulty in terms of battery actually, and the cost of battery is quite high. So a normal vehicle, petrol driven or diesel driven cars or something, if they are available at say rupees 7 lakh, 8 lakh, electrical vehicle cost is almost 14-15 lakhs and almost double it. But at the same time, you must realize that in terms of further this running expenses on electrical vehicles are almost zero.
Yeah,
I mean the
OPEX and the CAPEX. The OPEX is less, but the CAPEX is more.
Correct. So from that point of view, I think government is keen that they should come to India. Electrical vehicles. In terms of chips also, they are offering quite a good number of incentives for producers, international producers, to come and establish their this presence in India. And as you know, in terms of this computer science, India is one of the leading country in terms of education as well as services. In fact, India has emerged as one of the important source for promotion of IT.
But then, if there is something that I want to ask you, obviously India is one of the big countries, but then today there is China, one of the strongest countries that's attracting huge amounts of investments. We have Indonesia, which is also being one of the largest manufacturing attractions which is coming inside. And at the same time, Vietnam is also emerging. Now, considering these countries, where do you think so that India has the competitive advantage of attracting as compared to these very competitive countries who are also able to differentiate?
No, I do agree with you that there is a lot of competition when as far as this country's competitiveness is concerned. And in fact, this competition itself should give sort of inspire India to evolve really good policies. At the same time, I think, as you know, India is also trying to develop self-reliant economy. So as you are
Encouraging entrepreneurship.
so self-reliant. So if you see the startup ecosystem in India, there are quite a good number of startups which are operating in energy sector as well as this IT sector, as well as whatever you mentioned, the energy or any other sectors, which are really useful or beneficial for developments of chips as well as electric vehicle in the country. Yes. I mean, in Navi Mumbai region, you will find that there are at least 4-5 startup incubation center which are operating successfully, and at the same time they are promoting industries or they are becoming unicorns which is one of the important achievement as far as startup is concerned. My feeling is this startup industry in India or whatever system in India is compared to say China or this, it is much more better, and I feel that that's what in the long run that will prove to be successful.
Now, India means like it's a very one of the things, because since from Europe or like from the US, India is a very huge country. It comes down with different regions. The northern region has certain strengths, the southern region has certain strengths, certain industries, the eastern region, the western region, and the central region. Now, seeing the regions being so huge, there are different states also which are able to attract trade and investments. Now, how do you comment down on the states and the attractiveness within the states for the industries to look into?
This is an interesting question. My response to this, your question is like this as well. You see, India is, as you know, is a very large country. It has all the geographical resources. You understand? Is there all geographies also, or I mean all sorts of geographies, all sorts of geographical resources, all types of climate. So you can say it is in the mini world, you can say. And that itself will attract because the markets are very huge, very large and diverse. At the same time, perhaps for example, you may not be aware that Government of India has initiated a new policy, one district, one product. The idea is that every district at district level, state is before that, but district level, there identify products which are really good for that district climate, resources and geography, and they are asking that district to develop own products and also sell it all over India as well as all over the world. So that's a quite interesting concept which is being tried now, and I am sure it will successfully be implemented. Similarly, if you see states level, Maharashtra is an industrially advanced state, I would say, and it is as big as many countries in the world. So Maharashtra attracts almost as much as 30% investment, foreign direct investment in the country, and Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange are available here only. I mean, their presence in Maharashtra or Mumbai. Mumbai is a financial center, so that also attracts as a sort of a good source to foreigners to come in. Yes. So 30% of foreign investment comes into Maharashtra. The next state is Karnataka. Almost 22% in fact. Investment comes to Karnataka, and that is mainly because of, as you know, Bangalore is the Silicon Valley. That's what they call
software industry,
and it attracts IT as well as third state is of course Gujarat, which is becoming important for many foreigners also, and almost 17% of investment goes to Gujarat as such. And perhaps you may be knowing about Vibrant Gujarat event, which happens once in 2 years. Our Prime Minister only started it a long time back, and now that is attracting a lot of foreign trade as well as investment. But Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, these are the two other important states which are also attractive destination for investment. In terms of, for example, Andhra Pradesh, for example, or even Chennai, there are good ports facilities are there. Vizag as well as Chennai, and they are sort of shipping and logistics hubs for their regions. Tamil Nadu there's a quite good deal of industry in the Tamil Nadu.
The Tamil Nadu state, I remember they did this guidance Tamil Nadu, and that's actually roping in quite a lot of trade investors, and
that's
also because
similarly, Andhra Pradesh is a sort of, you can, for Indian agriculture, it is one of the largest in terms of say rice production. Andhra Pradesh is number one today.
And Telangana is also one. This is
So these states are also attracting foreign trade and investment, and they have good ability and knowledge how to attract. So almost at state level, they are taking own their programs or event to attract foreign investment.
similarly, I think Uttar Pradesh and
But all the states have now started, and government of India is helping them. Yes. So I think with these policies of one district, one product, and specialization there, that I think in the long run will prove a really good idea to implement at the government level as well as at the level of industry or businesses. That can give a lot of inspiration to
for business
people actually. And nowadays, for example, as you know, in the area of e-commerce also, especially in terms of exports, we are able to export something like $5 billion worth exports through e-commerce systems, platforms and this. And that has really created a lot of awareness and interest among exporters or business people to start the export in a substantial way. So industry is also utilizing. At the same time, small exporters or business people are utilizing e-commerce. Perhaps you know that UPI is one of the largest payment system in India, and not only in India but worldwide also.
One of the digitization is that's one of the initiatives. Digitization initiative has pushed this.
Its meaning is the Indian people, even small and what you call common people, are becoming sort of, you can say, experts in, I think, in particularly in this payment or transaction mechanism. And it will, in the long run, it has its own impact, which will be carried all over the world also.
Thank you so much for joining, Mr. Jayant Ghate.
No, you are welcome. We'll be happy to share if somebody is interested in. This is our publication which goes to industry in this region. Trade and Investment Promotion Service Bulletin. It is an e-bulletin, and it goes to almost thousand industry and of course government also. And we will be happy to publish write-ups on your activities or services, whatever your business interest are, so that Navi Mumbai region can be one of the stepping stone for you in future as such. So I welcome you, all of you, for this. Take advantage of World Center, Navi Mumbai.
So I would, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link of the tips bulletin which was there of the World Trade Center, and what I'm also going to put down also is that in CRISP which was there, if any exporters who are there in Navi Mumbai or in India, they can always approach the World Trade Centers.
Okay.
And use support down for trade and investments. Apart from that, the services which are there they can also write down articles on the tips bulletin and send it to you. And this particular products or the services is circulated to all the partnering World Trade Centers around the world. So this has been accessed, whoever is writing in this particular articles, their works are being shared to all the partnering World Trade Centers around the world.
That's correct.
That's correct. Thank you so much, Mr. Jayant.
No, I have to thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.